Okay, so this one I'm going to do tongue-in-cheek because I think it's quite funny. And I don't know if it was a rhetorical question or not in the comments, but I thought it'd be a great day to address this. So this is from Benny Hinn, and he writes, why are INTJs so hot? So I'm laughing at that right now because I had one of my friends who is a 65-year-old male lawyer point out today how tired and haggard I looked. And he's the first one to comment on whether or not my hair has been done, and which it hasn't because work has taken over. Classic INTJ. Make sure that the work is getting pushed forward and it doesn't really matter about your looks other than making sure you're presentable enough to get through the day. So anyways, I thought it was interesting about the hot thing. One thing I wanted to point out is I have a feeling that, well, first of all, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. INTJs aren't for everyone, but I think if you are a person that is attracted to someone that portrays that there is depth underneath there is more to this person than normal, particular stereotypical women, then potentially that's attractive. I think also because we're more demure as INTJ females, most of us, I would suggest, do not come across as flamboyant or exposing a lot of skin unless it is something that is strategic and still within the lines of their idea of the actual look they want to portray. So I think with female INTJs, we're not just going to try and look like the typical, stereotypical, pretty dumb blonde with the makeup and the body and the clothes that go along with it to, you know, go with the regular conventions of life. If we are putting any effort in, it's usually the fact that we are very strategic in what we're wanting to get across, and we put thought into it as opposed to trying to fit in with everyone else. I think too, there could be something to do with INTJs and their gaze. So we've talked about the death stare before, but there's something to be said for someone who's intense, someone who is interested in what you're saying, someone who doesn't suffer fools, someone who you see depth in their eyes. They're not glossed over, or their conversation aligns with the expressions that they're putting out there. So I think that could be something that is also important. So the other thing too that I think might be sexy would be, or hot, whatever was brought up by Benny, is the idea of our independence. So when we're meeting and chatting with you, it is something that is just go with the flow. You're another person. We're not thinking of you as, oh, you're a big hunk of meat male that is going to be our gravy train on out of whatever situation we've put ourselves in. We are independent and self-possessed, and if we're going to talk to you, we're going to actually have like a chill conversation, and that I think might be something that is an anomaly. I actually had a very interesting conversation the other day while I was watching football at a pub, and the fellow that was sitting beside me just was surprised that I was sitting and working while watching football, and they couldn't understand why I would choose to watch football by myself. So this is my example, but I'm like, okay, I'm used to that type of feedback, because most people assume that women just go with the guys to watch it. If you like football, then you're going to like football and you're going to know what you're talking about with it. So anyways, this particular example, this was a fellow that was actually in his late 50s, and Next thing you know, the conversation starts moving towards his life experience as a divorced father and how he's having difficulty navigating being in the dating scene, and why can't they just have chats like we're having and enjoy it. And I get it. I get that. And it was interesting to hear the point of view. I think we all can understand and appreciate that the frustrations of nowadays with social dating and the difficulties with navigating through the social media side to preempt whether or not party is viable as a mate definitely limits, especially for us INTJs. But I had to mention too that I think with INTJs, we don't lead with our exterior first. We come in, we are who we are. It's good, bad, whatever. We don't sit there and analyze it to make sure it's a better package for you to enjoy. We are here being ourselves, and we will chat with you or not chat with you depending on whether or not we want to. So maybe there's that less pressure that comes from the engagement that some of these guys experience, where they're used to more of the subliminal social cues that come with being maybe with a stereotypical female in a dating situation. And I think that might help with why INTJs are found attractive. However, I will leave you with this. As my husband, and I've brought up this before, the thing that he thinks is absolutely hilarious is that when you do excuse me, research on INTJ females, one of the quotes that come up is that we are not for everyone. So it's great. Yes, we can chat with the best of them if we want to. We, there's depth there, all that. However, we aren't for everyone. When push comes to shove, a lot of the traditional males, again, out there really don't know how to navigate being with a truly strong, independent female that bucks the trend against other personality types, and the need to conform in order to build themselves into the understanding of the socialization in a relationship that they've had before, and transplanting that with you is where the rift could begin, and why we are not for everyone, because we will not conform. So anyways, hope that was fairly interesting, but thanks again, Benny, for that one, because I thought it was really funny, especially on a day where, yeah, I was called out on the lack of fact that I haven't done my color and highlights and all that good stuff lately. So anyways, thanks so much.